Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. And today we're going to do odd and even function. What is an odd function? What's an even function? It's not like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 1, 3, 5. Okay. Here's the definition. Okay. Even function or f of negative x is equal to f of x. Function is unchanged when reflected about the y axis. So, meaning, say, um, the graph of an even function is symmetric with the y-axis, okay, like this parabola, okay, which we'll go more in depth with that one. Well, odd function, if the f of negative x is equal to the inverse of negative f of x. Function is unchanged when it rotated 180 degrees or about to the origin. So it has to be symmetrical with the origin, okay, like this graph here, y equals x cubed, okay. So let's go in depth of even function. So again, even function is f of x equal to f of negative x. So let's try the first one here. So let's say you're given f of x to be x squared minus 9. Okay. So how do we know if this is an even or odd? Okay. So let's use the definition that f of x equals to f of negative x by finding the f of negative x. So we say we will plug in negative x to the x there, so it becomes now negative x squared minus 9. And we know that negative x squared is negative x times negative x is going to be positive x squared. So this will be x squared minus 9. And if you notice that f of negative x is x squared minus 9 is the same thing as the original f of x. So therefore, f of x is equal to f of negative x. So f of x is an even function. So since it's an even function, you can stop there and you don't have to check if it's an odd function. Okay. One more. Okay, let's do it by the graph. Let's by the graph. So the best way is to show it to you in a calculator. Okay. Um, Go to the y equals, clear that one. X squared minus 9. And if you graph it, okay, you can tell from the graph. Let me erase that one. You can tell from the graph, it's a parabola that is symmetrical to the y-axis, right? This portion of the parabola is symmetrical to this yellow one here, right? And that's why we know that x squared minus 9 is an even function, all right? So let's go back. One more. Let's see. Okay, let's have here f of x. Oh, you can see that one. F of x is equal to x to the fourth minus 4x squared plus 1. So again, we're going to try the f of negative x. So this will be, let me use a different color for that. F of negative x. So negative x to the fourth minus 4 negative x squared. The square should be outside, plus 1. So we know that if you multiply negative x times negative x times negative x times negative x will be positive. So this will be x to the fourth. And then negative x squared is going to be positive x squared times negative 4 is going to be negative 4x squared plus 1. So you can tell that the f of negative x is the same thing as f of x here. They're equal. Since they're equal, we know that the original function f of x is an even function. And again, you don't need to check if it's odd, okay? So let's prove it in our calculator. Let's do Desmos this time for a change. Desmos. Desmos right here. So y is equal to x to the fourth minus 4x squared. Was it plus 1? Yep. You can tell already from this graph here that this red portion here is symmetrical to the yellow one here against its the y-axis here, right? And that's why you know it is going to be an even function. Okay. All right. What about odd function? Odd function. Odd function, based on definition, is that the f of negative x has to be equal to the negative of f of x. All right. So let's try one sample for that one. F of x. For example, f of x. Let's do x cubed minus 5x. So again, we're going to try the f of negative x here because that's what we're looking for to check if this definition will work. So we're going to plug in negative x to the x there, which will give you negative x to the third power minus 5, negative x here. Negative x 3 times, negative x times negative x will be positive, times negative x for the third time, it will be negative x cubed. And negative times negative is going to be positive 5x. We know that. So this is the definition of f of negative x. And let's so they're not f of negative x and f of x are not the same, so you know it's not an even function. So we're going to try now the negative f of x, meaning say you just have to flip the sign of everything from the original. So this x cubed, so this will be now negative x cubed. Negative 5x will be now positive 5x. And you can tell that the negative f of x and f of negative x are equal. These two here are equal. So therefore, this is an odd function. And to show to you using the calculator here, so go to the y equals, clear that one. The question again, I forgot, is x cubed minus 5x, x cubed. So x cubed caret minus 5. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Clear it again one more time. X cube, hit the right cursor, minus 5x. Graph it. If you notice on this graph here, it is not symmetrical to the y-axis because it's not even, but they are symmetrical with the origin. If you look at this one here, this blue portion here is symmetrical to this yellow one here. Oh, that's not yellow. This yellow one here. And then obviously this red one here is symmetrical to this brown one here. Okay. And that's why they're symmetrical to the origin. So it is going to be an odd function. Okay. That's the definition for odd function. They have to be symmetrical to the or about to the origin. Okay. Would it be always even or odd? No. We can always check if it's even odd, or it could be also neither. Neither is means it's not a odd nor even, but obviously you have to prove it and show it. How do you get it? For example, let's keep it simple here. Let's have a linear here. Fx equal to x minus 4. So we tried the f of negative x. You plug in a negative there. So negative x minus 4. Okay. So are this two here are equal? No, they're not. So it's not even. Okay. Let's try the negative f of x. So you flip the sign of the f of x. It will become negative x plus 4. Is the f of negative x and f of negative x here, are they the same? No, because of this, it's not odd function. So therefore, the answer is neither. Okay. All right. So again, one last time for summary, even function are graphically symmetrically to the y-axis, and algebraically has to be f of x equal to f of negative x. While odd function has to be symmetrical graphically, okay, about to the origin, and the definition has to be f of negative x is equal to negative f of x. Okay, so for your notes, I need you to try and complete this and identify that. Then let me write it in. I need you to determine if the given function is an odd, even, or neither. Okay. Show your work. Okay. Right. Number one, of x is equal to 3x to the third power minus 2x. Number two, of x is equal to 6. Number three is f of x equal to, there we go, negative x squared minus 8. Number four, f of x is equal to absolute value of x plus 2. Okay. All right. Please try this one and thank you. As always, kaboom.